There are very few people in this world who actually give up everything to live their dream. And there's one such Bengaluru Hudga with me today. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, then watch this special story.
Look at my face in the mirror, and I wonder what I see. I'm just a traveling soldier, and I'll be all I can be.
A lot of people relate biking only to stunts, but here's a guy who's set on a different mission. Meet this Bengaluru Hudga, Yashas. He travels to different parts of the country as well as overseas, but not by the normal modes of transport, but on his bike. The 24-year-old lad comes from an engineering background but left it all to pursue his passion. Yashas had in fact travelled to Leh, Ladakh, Kashmir, Thailand, Bhutan, all on his bike. The young guy decides his routes, itinerary and also the kind of stay which would be ideal. He not only views it as a method to live his passion for biking, but also says it's a culturally enriching experience. In fact, Yasha set out on his first adventure in 2013 from Kanyakumari to Kashmir for over 23 days and 7,500 kilometers. And the following year, he did a solo Himalayan international bike ride across 5 countries over 5,500 kilometers. What's more, he even travelled to Thailand and returned recently after his adventurous expedition. And as any other set of parents, even Yasha's parents were skeptical when they first heard that their son wanted to travel the length and breadth of the country on his bike. But now things are different.
ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸಾರಿ ಹೋದಾಗ ನಮಗೂ ಒಂಥರ ಭಯನೇ ಆಯಿತು. ಹಾಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಇಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಜೊತೆಲಿ ಯಾರು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಫಾರಿನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಹೋಗಿ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಚರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಗಳ ಜೊತೆಲಿ ಬೆರೆತು ಅವ್ರ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಇವ್ನು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವ್ರ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ, ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ. ಅವ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಾನೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರತಿ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳು ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಬೇಡ ಹೋಗಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಡಿ, ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡಿ. ನಿಜವಲ್ಲ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ವಿಲ್ ಪವರ್ ದೇವರು ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ.
ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ರೀತಿ ನೀತಿನೇ ಬೇರೆ. ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಇಷ್ಟು ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈಗಲೂ ನನಗೆ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗನ ನೆನೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ. ಈಗಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಈಗಿನ. ಬಟ್ ನನ್ನ ಮಗನ ಅವನ ನೇಚರೇ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟು. ಅವನು ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವನು ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಸಾಧಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಏಮ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಈಗಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಒಂದು ಮುಂದಿನ ಯೋಜನೆಗಳೇ ತುಂಬ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅವನು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಊಟ ತಿಂಡಿ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇದ್ದ, ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಈಗ ಮನೇಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೊಡದೇ ಇದ್ದರೂ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟಬಲ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಇದಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
Well, after listening to his parents beaming with pride about their son's adventure, we caught up with the Bengaluru Hudga as he spilled the beans on his adventures, his obstacles, fun times during his travels, including his bungee jump stunt in Nepal. Traveled to different parts of the world on his bike, and he's someone who really loves adventure. And I have the person with me, Yasha, so let's find out from him what really gets him going on this amazing journey that he set out on. So Yashas, first of all, congratulations for, setting out on such a different adventure. How did this thought of, traveling on your bike to different countries, to different states, even in India, come across?
The thing is, I always wanted to promote passion among Indian youngsters. It started 2 years back when I did a ride from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. It was a solo ride. It started as a spark wherein I wanted to spread this message of following passion rather than the normal work routine. I wanted youngsters to at least devote 10% of their time to doing just what they like. So that is the main agenda with which I travel and with which I ride. And it has brought me so far, and that is one thing that I will continue doing as well. And that is something that I want to spread.
Someone who likes biking, you like using your bike and going for, rides, but you have actually used it with the form of traveling. Yes. So how did that process, come about? Now you've traveled from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. That was your first adventure that you set out on. Right. So tell us a little bit about that.
It started 2 years back. In 2013, I rode from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. That was my first step towards what I wanted to achieve. And the very next year, I started riding across 5 countries. It was a 1 month long ride just on the Himalayan terrain, the pure Himalayan, eastern Himalayan terrain, and I rode across 5 countries. Nepal, Bhutan, Northeast India, and China and Bangladesh was touched. So that is the second part to it, because I always believed that as long as you appreciate the beauty of your own country, you will not be in a position to appreciate the beauty of other countries. So I wanted to cover the length and breadth of the subcontinent, and that is something that I achieved with my second ride. The second and the first ride gave me that exposure wherein I rode across the length and breadth of India, Nepal, and Bhutan, and I also happened to touch China and Bangladesh at various occasions. So after this, I wanted to take it further to the international borders. So I just completed my ride across Thailand, and it's been just 10 days that I'm back. It, it it's really nice to know the culture and learn the culture of people from other countries, and that is something that makes you evolve as a person, individually and your personality also grows with it, and it gives you a break from your routine. Even I am an engineer, just like every other Indian is, and I want to break that stereotype, because everywhere you go, Indians are like the typical IT guys, and that is the trend that is followed as well, because we after finishing a graduation, we just get into that money making mode, but we forget that there's something more to life as well.
Such adventures, it sounds so amazing, but at the same time, isn't it, scary? Of course, you come across a lot of obstacles. Now, personally, I'm sure you would have come across a lot, but when you first start out on such missions, what is the first step? Now, someone who is watching you right now likes biking, likes to travel, but would want to know how to go about this. What would the first step be?
See, in India there is very less exposure to starting this. I mean guidance to start something like this, because if you know some biker club or something, only then if another biker has achieved something, he would be guiding you. But that was very seldom done here. And once I started, there was very little guidance for me, and I had to start from the scratch, plan out the itinerary, and detail out the routes and everything. As I spanned out, it makes you grow. Your maturity grows with it. So that's what it did me. That's what happened with me as well. As I grew on, I knew what precautions has to be taken. I knew how to behave as a person, as a biker. As a biker, you will have a bigger responsibility in society, because it's not just riding a bike; it's about carrying yourself across the boundaries, and how to behave with people, how to react to people, how to be independent. And solo biking is something that gives you more hold on yourself and makes you realize what you are capable of. So that is one thing that has drawn continuously with me.
And what about the obstacles? Now, I'm sure when you're crossing borders and on your bike, it's generally how intimidating is it when you're at such places? Do you think there's some sort of security that you're always looking out for?
The thing is, across the borders, there is always violence. If you go to the northern part of Kashmir, you'll never know, because there is still infiltration going on, and you'll never know what may happen the very next moment. Having said that, you'll feel secure, because they will have army posted everywhere. Whereas there are few things, because if there is good in society, there will be bad as well. So you will never know when the evil will strike you. So you'll have to be ready for it. When I was riding in Assam, there was ethnic violence everywhere. So as I was riding, the border police, the border army police has warned me that I should never speak about my ride or anything. I should never speak to any villager, or if I happen to speak to them, they'll slit my throat right away. So if you are riding with such a fear, you will have to conduct yourself. You'll have to be calm, and you'll never have to panic. So it's all about believing in yourself, and the way you conduct yourself, that matters a lot.
Anything in particular when you visited some particular place you thought, okay, I did this, I achieved this, and this was really fun to do? Anything that you could tell us?
Yes, I always wanted to do a bungee jump, and this was like a dream for me. And there was no other site that is offering bungee jump in India. There is only one site in Rishikesh, and that's a 80-meter fall. When I happened to go to Nepal, there was one resort, the last resort, which offers the world's longest bungee swing. So I happened to do that, and it was like the most memorable moment of my life, because that's when I realized what adrenaline rush is. I fell off from a 100 feet height, and then I swinged all the way 160 meters. 100 meters fall and 160 meters swing. That is world's longest bungee swing. So these things happens to you always, and even as you ride, you'll get to you'll get to visit few less known hospitalities and all that. So we get to experience all this, and you get to camps in Himalayan terrain, you get to camp in Kashmir.
Do you believe that, when you're traveling and you're not a tourist, they're two different things, right? When you're a traveler and tourist, do you believe that as a traveler, you get to see a lot more aspects that people who generally go on holidays would not see?
Yes, that is right. See, being a traveler is a very different concept than being a tourist. Tourist is what everyone does. It's all about going to the place, seeing the place, and coming back. Traveler is the one who goes to the place, lives in the place, and comes back with the memories. Tourist only comes back with the pictures, whereas a traveler comes back with a lot more, like learning the culture of the people, the way he learns or he takes the concepts the good concepts out of the culture of other people. So these things comes with the traveler, because the traveler knows how to respect people, how to conduct himself with the public, and how to respect the other cultures as well. So these things comes as a package with the traveler. And
Any place that you went to and you thought, okay, this is something that I could not have seen if I was a tourist?
yes, that is right. See, as a traveler, you will mostly interact with people, and I found the people in Bhutan and Thailand are very hospitable. They are very nice, very calm people, and that is something a tourist may not see at all. They will not see how a person in Bhutan or Thailand lives. You'll only see what a bus or how does it transport, or how does it transit from one place to another, just going around the destination. But this is something that gives you more insight into what their culture is. So I suggest Bhutan and Bhutan and Thailand is a very beautiful country that I've been to, and I just came back from Thailand as well. So I have those memories still fresh with me.
Now, before we spoke about your whole journey, we were talking about the kind of switch that you've had from your engineering background to this. So now coming to your family aspect, how, supportive have they been, and what was their first reaction like when you said that you're setting out on something like that?
Yes, see, basically I was an engineer, by choice only, but now I don't want to be an engineer because I want to do something more than being an engineer. And this is something that I've chosen because I'm following my passion. And yes, like every family, even my family was very skeptical about me doing all this in the initial stages. My mom was very supportive, even though she takes all the burden on herself. She is very supportive from the outer end.
Youngsters, if you were to give a message to everyone who's watching you right now, if not biking, passion is the ultimate thing that you need to follow in life?
See, there are lakhs and crores of engineers, but there are only few people who follow their passion. I ask everyone the same question. Whether you devote even 10% of your year, or in 365 days, whether you devote at least 30 days of your life to doing just what you like doing. So if you're not doing that, then you're not living your life. So kindly gear up and do something that you like. It's not just traveling or biking. There are many other passions that you'll have to follow. Kindly do that. That is the ultimate thing that comes with you the entire life. Because I've met people who are earning 65 lakhs a year, but still they feel that they're losing out. They lost out on their prime time doing that they don't like doing. So now when the time is already passed out, you will not be able to do anything. So it's better that you start doing young and start following it. Money will automatically follow, and if not, even the happiness will be there with you forever.
What do you set out on after this? What are we going to see you do next? Which is your next adventure? Which is on your agenda?
Yes, me along with Asia, we are planning to go across the Asian countries, promote their tourism, because it's very important that we study, we visit as many places as possible. So that is what we intend to do together, and we will try to promote the tourism or the culture of the other countries. And once that is done, 3-year target would be a world tour on my stock bike. It would be a 50,000 kilometer ride across 5 continents for over 6 months. So that is the ultimate dream that I am working on. And with the right support from all the media channels, I think the biking should take another turn, wherein it's not just about the commercialization of bikers, it's about enabling people to take biking in a right manner. So it shouldn't be commercialized. That's the one thing that I'm telling. For everyone out there who want to do biking, please don't commercialize it. Take it as a passion, do it as a passion. Don't make it into a money aspecting thing. And even the other things, for people sponsoring the celebrities or the other media channels, they can take up and promote such bikers and give them a channel to showcase their talent, and I'm sure the bikers would do great.
Well, in a time where people get stuck in a monotonous routine and are in the rut of earning more money that hardly ever gives us time to pursue our passion, this guy shows us all how it is still possible. Strong message from this Bengaluru Hudga is to follow your dreams and live your passion. With camera person Balaji, this is Nivedna Prabhu reporting for News9.
Well, we have the biker in our studios here with us who's going to talk about his experience, his expeditions. He's gone not just across India but also across the border as well. Now, the question we're asking all of viewers today before we start talking to the biker himself is, are you too an adventurous biker? Talk to the biker on a mission. Now, you can share your views with News9. You can call us on 08022360303 or even 04. You can send in your SMSs at 9980945138. Well, Yashas, welcome to News9. And did you come here by a bike? I should ask you that first.
No, actually my dad was traveling with me, so I had to take a car.
So your dad doesn't travel with you on the bike?
No. He has that strict rule that he doesn't sit with me on the bike.
After all the kilometers that you've done on your bike and after the countries that you visited on your bike, your dad still doesn't trust you on the bike, or does he choose not to go on the bike?
No, he chose not to go on the bike. That's the only thing.
So overall, we've heard about so much about your expeditions. Of course, even earlier, while we've known about your Kanyakumari to Kashmir, be it that. Now, what is the latest thing that you brought on to the fore?
The latest thing would be like, till now I was exploring the borders of subcontinent and the surrounding countries of India. Now I have taken it to the next level wherein I started traveling across the Asian countries. So I just came back from Thailand, and that's the latest thing that I brought to the forum now. And it was a ride across Thailand for over 18 days. It's bringing the culture and tradition of Thailand closer to people, be it the very calm people from northern Thailand to the very busy metropolitan cities of Bangkok, Pattaya, and then the beach culture of Phuket and Krabi. So this is what I wanted to show to the people. I mean, it's not just about the stereotyped Thailand, it's more into it. So that is the latest thing.
Well, when you just say I went to Thailand and came back, that's the next thing that I bring to the fore. But overall, tell us, how was this experience? Because going to Thailand, most of the people dream of going there. Some of them, many people in India also go there. But going there on a bike, now that has so many challenges. Which bike did you go on? How was your journey? Tell us about the journey by itself.
The thing is, I rode across Thailand on various bikes because going there and taking a bike is also a procedure in itself. I rode across Thailand on a Honda CB 500X. It's a 500cc bike. Yeah, it's roads of Thailand are pretty good. It's damn awesome there. And as a biker, you would dream of such roads. And going there, there are many important things.
Did you drive from Bengaluru to Thailand, or did you take?
No, it was just about exploring the Thailand in itself. So I just went there and took a bike for exploration. Riding from Bangalore is also possible, but it's pretty expensive as far as the shipment of bike is concerned or riding the bike is concerned. It takes a longer time. So my intention was to explore Thailand at its best. So I went there, bought a bike, and I explored it on the bike itself. And Thailand, as you know, it's very famous. I mean, as others know, it's only famous for this Bangkok, the shopping and all that. There's something more to Thailand that we bought out. It was more about bringing out the hot springs, the caves, the waterfalls, and northern Thailand is full of all that. And we did it on a bike because we wanted to explore Thailand, not just see Thailand. So going to Thailand on a bike and just going whichever place you find is interesting is the ultimate thing that we wanted to do, and that's what we ended up doing. So,
well, overall, how many days were you there?
I was there for 18 days and I did a solo ride again. It was me alone doing the things there. And it was more of exploring rather than just seeing the places.
Overall, now also you've traveled to Bhutan, you've traveled to Nepal. That's what we do understand.
Yes.
Now those were on bikes, or how did you travel?
It was on my bike itself. I rode across Nepal, Bhutan, and China and Bangladesh. It was not into the China and Bangladesh. It was touching China and Bangladesh on various occasions. I rode it from India and came back to India itself. See, Nepal and Bhutan are the most beautiful Himalayan countries one can ever visit. And if you go there, it's like the cheapest way also to visit for any Indian. And I went there on the bike, covered the entire stretch of Nepal and Bhutan. I went up till the Nepal-China border as well, on my bike itself. And that is one thing. And I traveled from eastern Nepal to the western Nepal, south to the northern of Nepal. And Bhutan, the same case. Bhutan is also the most calm, serene Himalayan kingdom, because it's a king rule there. And even that's very beautiful country. And Indians should start off with Nepal and Bhutan, I must say. What I see, my main agenda is to enable people or to tell people to start looking out or start exploring their own country. That's what I did with my first two rides. I went from Kanyakumari to Kashmir with my first ride, and in the very second ride I went across the northeast part of India. Along with that, I explored China and Bhutan, which is an easy target for any Indian. So once you know how to appreciate the beauty of your country, you will get that maturity to accept and assimilate the culture of the other countries and appreciate the beauty of other countries. So China and Bhutan, Nepal and Bhutan are the easy targets for any Indian to visit and explore, and it will not disappoint you in any manner. I will assure you that.
Well, when you went from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, how did that idea come about, and how did you actually start off? If you could tell us more about that particular journey.
See, Kanyakumari to Kashmir, as a biker, I was always passionate about biking. But this thing was a crazy thing because I was at my gym, I was just walking out the normal stuff. And my gym partners was like, started this conversation like this, there can be something like this that has happened and that can happen also. So we planned a ride together, I must be honest. We planned a ride together, but everyone started dropping out. So I was like, you come or not, I'll do it. And that's how it started. And at the end of the day, I did it. And
you were alone on that ride?
Yes, yes. All my rides till now, I was alone. There was no company or no group involved. And I started it anyway. That was like the first step towards the biking, because Kanyakumari to Kashmir, it's like the normal stuff now, but it's the first step towards biking, because I went on to reach the Kashmir in just 10 days, 5,000 kilometers after 3 rest days. And after that, to explore just Kashmir, I took 13 days. Kashmir is, I don't think many would have gone to the interior part of Kashmir. It's just the Srinagar or the Sonmarg kind of a thing, and they come back. But going further for the bikers, they may have done it. For the other travelers, I wanted to show what Kashmir has to offer. So I went on to ride across Kashmir as well. So
which bike did you use there?
I always ride on my R15.
Well, usually people prefer the bullets or probably the heavy duty bikes while they do these long journeys, probably because it's more comfortable and it's more heavy duty. But a sports bike, how does your body adapt to that?
Let me tell you, one of the main adventures that always keeps me motivated is that of Bharatwaj Dayala. He went across the world on his charisma, Indian-made charisma. If a guy can do a world tour on his charisma, why can't any other bike? See, the bullets, it's not that I have anything against bullets or any other tourers. They are all good and they are all well appreciated across the biking community. But I would say if you are a biker, if you know how to ride, any bike would do. And you don't need a bullet to do something like
comfort level.
Comfort, your bike is the ultimate comfort thing that you can have. If you love your bike, that's the ultimate comfort environment that you can create for yourself. So that's all I can say, because comfort, as in it shouldn't make your life easier, it should make your life the way it is. And I don't believe in making life easier. I wanted to experience life at its reality.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people, in fact, would not agree with him. They would want an easy life, but that's not the way Yashas chooses his life to be. He wants it to be as real as it can get. Now, the question that we're asking all our viewers today is, are you too an adventurous biker? Now, you can talk to the biker on a mission, share your views with News9. You can call us on 08022360303 or even 04. You can also send in your SMSs at 9980945138. Well, we have a caller joining us, Pradeep, in fact, from Vidyanapura. That he's also a friend, Karthik, I beg your pardon, from Vidyanapura. He's also a friend of Yashas. Well, Karthik, what do you have to say about Yashas here? Of course, he's achieved a lot of things. You would be proud of him?
Yeah, I'm so proud of him, and he's an inspiration to a generation. I honestly, I knew him when he used to come to a gym that I also used to visit. And all of a sudden, I see this guy, in the limelight. He was riding from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, and that really kind of inspired me. And I wasn't a biker, but ever since I saw Yashas doing this, a close friend. I mean, he's not a close friend, but I know him from the gym we used to go. I too now want to take a bike and go from ride across India and like what he has been doing. So he's truly been an inspiration, and I wish him luck. My question to him is, he mentioned he did subcontinent. So is Pakistan on his mind? Thanks.
Well,
good job, Yashas. Keep it up.
Hold on, Karthik. I think Yashas is here. He can talk to you live. Yashas, what do you have to say about?
Karthik, hi. Good morning.
Hi, Yashas.
The thing is, Pakistan, for the various security reasons, is not allowing any Indians to ride across ride on their roads, and it's pretty much off target now, because it's very difficult to ride on Pakistan roads for the obvious security reasons, and the situation is also same. And Pakistan may be off the cards for now, but if the country allows and if they assure me security, I would be more than happy to ride across Pakistan. It's not
Well, anything
else?
But if
relations between India and Pakistan ever get better, would you want to go to Pakistan and ride?
Yes, the relation between the two countries, I mean, I am not really educated to talk about it, but yes, if the Pakistan as a country owns up to the responsibility of an Indian biker riding on the Pakistan roads, I would be more than happy to go to Pakistan and ride. It's not.
Right, Karthik, thank you for joining us. In fact, we have another caller lined up. Naveen joins us this time around. Well, Naveen, what do you have to say to Yashasya?
Yeah, first of all, I want to wish Yashas a good luck, and I'm very, glad to hear that Yashas done a good thing, and I'm also, looking kind of this thing to do in the future. So, yeah, best of luck to Yashas in his whatever he's planning for in the next his future life.
Thank you.
So, yeah, and actually I'm also a biker, and I'm from a community called Bangalore Bikers.
Okay.
So actually we are also a team where we are also trying to, give awareness to people in Bangalore to have a good biking in our Bangalore. So however, as a biker, I'm very glad to see Yashas on his Yamaha, like R15 is doing his better things. Actually, there was, as you were told earlier, that, people used to have bullets and all for long rides. And I'm also holding an Yamaha bike, which is in 125cc Gladiator, and I also done almost, near to like Bangalore city. So I was planning for the same thing, but I don't know whether my bike will support for that much of a long run all. So anyway, I like to congratulate whatever Yashas has done so far. So yeah, it's very nice to see Yashas, you are doing all these things.
Thank
you.
you.
If you have any, I'm starting from scratch now. Actually, I used to have rides with friends only to Mysore, Kolar and Tumkur, whatever the nearest places I used to have. So however, as far as a member of Bangalore Bikers, we are also planning for some such long rides, and we are also having some seniors who have done Ladakh and all. So yeah, if you have any suggestions to me, so I'll appreciate if you give any better suggestions for me for my future planning with my bike. So that will be great.
Well, hi Naveen, it is nice to know that you are from Bangalore Bikers community.
The
thing is, see, I have seen people do Ladakh on a Chetak.
Yeah.
Right, and as far as it's your bike, there is nothing that can stop you, even if it's a 125cc. Even I know a friend who has done the Ladakh on 125cc. You can very much go for it. Just make sure that you respect the bike and respect the mountains, because there is nothing more than the machine that you respect, and nothing more than the nature that you can respect when you are on ride. So as long as you are decent enough with the riding skills or with the riding style, I think you can very much do it on a Gladiator, or I think 125cc must be that you are referring to. And yeah, it shouldn't be an issue if you want to ride. And being a biker and being from the Bangalore Bikers, I would urge you to use this biking platform to spread a message and on something, maybe a road safety or empowering women. So that makes more sense. So we bikers should take up responsibility to bring about such messages across the community in Bangalore. So I'm sure if you start off, you can always do it with your 125cc. It's not an issue. And if you need any help, we are always there as a bikers to interact and help each other in making this happen.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Yashas. And the main thing is right now, the people of Bangalore, we can see the students doing stunts and all on the roads and all. So that's the main motto.
I think, yes, Naveen. I think safety is something that he just pointed out, that all the bikers should in fact come together and impart more knowledge to the people about safety. Thank you for joining us, Naveen. Overall, there are several people who ask such questions, because what I may have at home may not be a bike probably which I believe can do those long distances. Now, before you set out on a journey, what do you look for in your bike, and what do you do? Do you go to your mechanic, get certain things fixed? If somebody watching would probably want to do a long journey, say not probably a Kashmir to Kanyakumari, but even from one state to another, what do they need to look at?
Being a biker, the first thing that you should know is the in and out of your bike. You should know at least the minor repairs that you should be able to carry out. And the second thing is, don't deface the bike, because the engineers from any company, be it Honda, Yamaha or anything, they know better than you. So please don't go for any modifications on the bike if you are doing such long tours, and make it a normal stock bike that you can take it. And the only thing that I have on my bike is the extra clutch cable, because if it snaps out, I can put it back in and ride. So don't do anything silly with the bike. It's all decked up for your any big ride. So that is the only thing. Respect the bike and stay normal as with your riding skills. There is nothing that you can do better than the engineers of the any motorcycle company.
Absolutely. Now, overall, let's get back to the expeditions that you've done. Now, apart from the Kashmir to Kanyakumari, that was, of course, you spoke about the challenges that you faced. What were the other tours that you've made that were the most challenging?
Yes, the Kanyakumari to Kashmir was just the first ride. It's like an introduction to what the next came out. After Kanyakumari to Kashmir, I started from Lucknow and came back till Guwahati just on the Himalayan terrain. It was 5,500 kilometers just on the Himalayan terrain across Nepal, Bhutan, Sikkim, Darjeeling and Northeast India. And I also went on to touch China on 3 occasions and Bangladesh once. So the thing is, it was since it was just on the Himalayan terrain, it was pure challenge. Here it was the eastern Himalayas. With the K2K ride, I rode across the northern Himalayas, and with this ride, I rode across the eastern Himalayas. Here the situation was very worse, and I would suggest you to take some experience and only then go to the eastern Himalayas, because the weather is very unpredictable, the terrain is very rough, and but the experience is also very enriching, that I can say. But you'll have to be matured enough to handle that situation and not just go and ride. It's not that simple. You should have that maturity of handling the mountains well, or you don't have to go stunt on the Himalayas. That is not the place for you to show off your stunts. Be simple, be a normal biker, and then go do it. But the situations that I faced was very terrifying, even if I look back now.
Well, we'll talk about those situations, the terrifying situations that you mentioned. Of course, the challenges of riding on the Himalayas itself is very great. We have another caller, Sharif, joining us from Frasertown. Sharif, what do you have to say to Yashas here?
Yeah, I just wanted to know that, I just wanted to tell first that we are very proud of a Bangalorean.
Thank you.
Who have covered this milestone.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is what I'm telling you. We are very proud of our boy of Bangalorean. Who has achieved this milestone.
Absolutely, Sharif. We all are. In fact, what he's done is not something that everybody can. But anything that you'd like to ask him in particular?
Yeah, that is just want to know that. Have you ever faced any challenge like disturbance from the public, from the developers of the border people, and what is the patience he has used and how he has overcome it? Okay.
Right, Sharif, thank you for joining us. In fact, would you like to answer that? How do you go about, yes, there are people sometimes while you stop for probably food, or when you stop to get some rest, you might meet different people. How do you handle that interaction? And at the border level, how do you face those situations?
See, the situations from the people is very good till now, but there are few instances wherein I faced some rough times, and it was mentally disturbing as well. There's one instance wherein I was crossing this border from the Galifu border from Bhutan to Assam. So that's when there was curfew imposed everywhere in Assam due to ethnic violence. I just crossed the border, and a CRPF Jawan comes to me and says that please don't tell me. He thoroughly checked my luggage. The entire luggage I had to open and I had to repack. Then after checking everything, he said that please don't tell such things, that you are doing such a thing to anyone, that you are an engineer and all that. People here are not good. They may straight away slit your throat. And that's the fear that he kept in me, because it was a warning and it's very much needed. He did his duty on his part. So with that fear, I had to ride all the way from the interior Assam to the highway of Assam. It was a good 50 kilometers to just the highway. So that is the situation. I can't imagine how I rode and how I conducted myself. And the road was also not good. It was through the villages of the rural Assam, that I must say. And there was curfew everywhere. There were army people every 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers. But in that span of 1 kilometer, will never know what will happen, because there are things where attention seekers may do something for such a thing. I mean, for the curfew to be nullified, there may be anything that could have happened. So that was one thing that I can remember. It is always about conducting yourself. That's what I will keep stressing everyone. See, as you ride from the borders, from one border to another, it's all about conducting yourself. So please make sure that you conduct yourself as a biker and as a person. And
now, while you were in Assam, when you said there was a curfew, did you come across any people who in fact threatened you, or any such dangerous situation that you came across?
No, fortunately there was no such things that people started threatening me and all that. But yeah, I mean, as I was riding through, it was not a very calm situation. It was always a tense situation. Even a person staring at you will be a threat, and that's how I saw it. And a 50-kilometer ride is still very horrifying. And also against the nature, if you talk about going against the nature, there was one situation in Bhutan wherein I was stuck on a mountain for over 4 hours. It was, see, You expect a 4-lane main road in Bangalore, make it just 2-lane, make it all curled up to a mountain which is 52 kilometers for the pass, and make it fully dark with fully fogged out with absolutely zero visibility and heavy rains under zero temperature, almost 4 or 5 degrees. I rode in that situation for almost 4.5 hours to cross the Yotungla Pass, which is gateway to Boomtang. You can't imagine, I used to literally open my hands of the gloves and keep it in the engine so that I get some heat out of it, just to avoid myself from freezing out. So that is the situation wherein you'll have to be mentally strong. It's more about mental ability rather than the physical ability. So that's all. These two situations is a death-defying.
Right, we'll, of course, you did speak about the mental challenges, but also physically, you need to be fit to do this. We'll talk about that. We have another caller joining us. Sampath Kumar joins us from Vasant Nagar. Well, Sampath, what do you feel about Yashas here, and would you like to ask him anything?
So I was watching this.
Please mute your television set before you speak to us.
Yeah, one second. Hello? Hello?
Yes, Mr. Sampath.
Yeah, I want to talk to Yash.
Please.
Hello, Sampath.
Hello, Yash.
Hello. How are you?
First of all, congrats.
Thank you.
It was a very adventurous job.
Thank you.
How did you start this passion? At what age you started this? I want to know it.
The first ride I started when I was 22. Now I'm 24. So in 3 years, I've tried constantly doing something that I like, and I've constantly tried, make it happen. So that's how I started. It was a spark, as I said. It was just a spark that I wanted to do something like this, and that craze turned into a passion. So I'm still trying my best to follow it no matter what. And I'm doing it on a yearly basis and a 6-month basis with one long ride, and I hope I continue the same.
Okay. Congrats, sir.
Thank you, Sampath.
Right, Sampath, thank you for joining us. Well, yes, we were talking about how mentally you need to be prepared, but overall on a physical level, what do you need to do? Because riding a bike itself for so many kilometers will take a toll on your back. You're carrying luggage. Okay, you might have equipment where you can probably put it or cling it onto your bike, but still there is a lot of the roads. You may not face really good roads while you're crossing borders. How does your body take all of this?
See, first thing is, as far as the physical fitness is concerned, before that I urge everyone to be mentally fit. And see, for a ride like K2K or the Himalayan ride, for example, the Himalayan ride, it's around 300 kilometers minimum per day. And 300 kilometers is not like the normal ride that you do. It's like on the Himalayan terrains with totally torn out roads. It's not a easy job. It's like you'll have to ride at least for 10-12 hours per day. And that has to be the mindset of the people who wants to attempt it. And having said that, if you want to go further than that, the physical fitness, I would say you just have to get used to the food that you get. Higher up in the mountains, you won't get anything that you like back home. So you'll have to be adjusted to the food there. And yes, since I was on R15, the back takes a toll. I used to literally tie a crepe band around my waist so that I don't get that stress all alone. But that will not really affect you. The physical thing won't really affect you. But one important thing is you'll have to be clean. You'll have to take bath every day. Without that, you'll go into sickness. Because you'll be riding every day with all those gears and everything. Even one day if you don't take bath, you'll go into sickness. So please stay clean and stay mentally focused.
How many hours of rest do you suggest when people do a constant 10-hour, 12-hour drive? How important is it to rest? What do you do? What did you do personally? Did you go to places, visit hotels and sleep there, or did you carry sleeping bags? What was your method like?
For 10 or 12 hour ride is a minimum time that you'll have to spend on your bike if it's a mountain thing or it's a long distance thing. Yeah, after that, in the first ride I used to camp. I camped everywhere in Kashmir, almost everywhere in Kashmir. Except for the cities, I camped everywhere in Kashmir. In the second ride, I used to stay in pretty good hotels so that I rest myself. Because since I was crossing borders, I didn't want to risk with the tent and all that. Yeah, I used to stay in. But first ride was the enriching experience because camping and camping across next to a river, on a river bank, overlooking the snow-capped mountains, on a sleeping bag. It will be a very chilly night, but it will be a very experienced one. And morning when you wake up, you get the golden rays of sun falling over the valley, and you get everywhere it's golden. You'll have the meadow, the golden meadow that is in front of you on display, and you'll have horses grazing around. So these things you won't get even if you pay $1 million. So just rest in such a way that you will enjoy the nature as much as possible, and you'll give some physical rest to your body as well.
Absolutely. We have another caller joining us. Akash joins us from Banshankari. Well, Akash, what do you have to say to Yash?
Yeah, hi Ashraf. I just
Hello.
want to congratulate you on your, ride to Thailand.
Thank you.
And also well wishes for your future expedition.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to, ask a question that how to be, physically fit before driving. I mean, before taking all these adventure bike rides and all.
Akash, yeah, as I said, see, you'll either be riding in
I
extreme
mean, yeah, I was just watching it, and you just said that, I mean, how physically fit you should be when you're on ride. I
Yes.
just wanted to, I mean, before driving, you.
Yes, as I said before, I took up these rides. I used to work out and all that diet was there. But 2 or 3 months before I stopped everything, I got used to the normal diet so that my body doesn't expect anything more. And after that, you'll be either riding in the extreme temperatures. It's either going to be extreme cold or extreme heat. So you'll have to be, your body has to be used to all that. It has to be used to the extreme temperatures. For example, one instance is when I was riding from Tawang to Shillong, I was at 4 degrees Celsius in Tawang. When I came down to Bolongpong, it came down to 14 degrees Celsius. When I was in Shillong, it came down to 30 degrees Celsius. Just in the span of 24 hours, my body was facing temperatures from 4 degrees to 30 degrees Celsius. So that is the thing, even a 1 degree variation in temperature will affect your body. If the variation is this much, you will have to make sure that your body is as fit as possible to get used to the temperature fluctuations. So that will keep you motivated for the entire ride. Or else if you fall sick, the entire ride will be vanished and it will be offset, I mean off track, your itinerary will go for a toss. So that is something you should avoid.
Physically activities are needed along with your biking tours, what you're saying.
No, just stay normal. Don't eat anything too junky, and you just stay normal. With the bike ride will go smooth. But as I said, the physical fitness is only the secondary part of it. If you are mentally fit, I would stress on being mentally fit rather than being physically fit. Physical fitness is also required, but mental fitness is there. Because when we are on ride, we carry luggage anywhere close to half of our body weight. And to carry it around, you can see the decked up luggage there. To carry it all around under the extreme sun or the extreme cold, it's very difficult. So it's not just you will have to manage your luggage as well. So all that will need some fitness. So more than physical fitness, I would say mental fitness is the need of the hour.
Right, Akash, thank you for joining us. Well, in fact, now coming towards the end of this special program, what are your future plans? What are your aims now?
Deepak, as I spoke to you, I mean, this is just a prelude to what I am looking for in the near future. I mean, me with AirAsia, we are planning to take the rides to the Asian countries now. I want to explore the Asian countries on the bike. And going forward, I wanted to do a world tour 2 years from now on the bike itself. It will be a 6-month ride for over 50,000 kilometers just on the bike. You'll start from India and come back to India, going around the globe. So that is like a dream ride for me now. I would say dream is something that cannot be achieved, but this can be achieved. But still, it's a dream ride because I want to do that very badly. So I am still, and it's very nice that media platforms like TV9, News9 are giving such an exposure to the bikers now, because I don't want the biking community to be commercialized. I want it to be taken forward as a passion, and I sincerely thank TV9 and News9 for giving this opportunity for a biker to explain himself or to express himself on a national platform like this.
Absolutely. It's in fact nice to have bikers like you come here who serve as an inspiration to several others out there. Thank you for joining us. In fact, you can probably connect to him on Facebook if you're available.
HS Travelog, you can always reach out to my travel details. I have a blog as well, rideoffpassion.com. So where I write about all my travels. So you can just look up to it, and we can meet there.
Well, thank you, Yashas. Well, in fact, that's how you can connect to Yashas. Thank you for joining us in this News 9 special. We'll, of course, be back with a bulletin.